and it just made headlines again at last night's opening night live. And here to give us an exclusive look at Diablo 4's newest expansion, please welcome General Manager Rod Ferguson, Systems Designer Aislinn Hall, and Lead Game Designer Rex Dixon. Welcome, guys, to Gamescom.
Thank you for having us.
How you guys all doing? Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Now, for those of the people out there that might have missed what happened last night, why don't you clue us in? What exactly did you just do?
Yeah, well, last night was exciting. So our game director for their Vessel of Hatred expansion, Brent Gibson, got on stage and he talked about something that we've been going even deeper on the expansion. You know, we've talked about the Spiritborn, the class, we've talked about the new zone, Nahantu, talked about the new story campaign, but we're like, there's even more in the expansion than that. And so we really want to get into like different ways that people want to play the game. And so we introduced the Undercity of Kuras, which is our new
really
dungeon,
only care about the single-player campaign for Diablo.
Dark Citadel, which is our multiplayer co-op, and then the big thing was our trailer last night for our mercenaries.
Ah, mercenaries. Now, let's talk about them for a sec, because this is a brand new gameplay feature. We'll talk about new
Since it's on Game Pass, I probably will play the expansion when it comes out, just to do the story. Oh, I have not covered that news yet. Pescado.
Why did it feel like the right time to bring it in
Pillars
now?
of Eternity 2.
And how do you hope players are going to engage with the
Path of Exile, not Pillars of Eternity.
So I think the franchise has a legacy of followers and mercs, and we wanted to really reimagine that formula.
November 15th is the early access for
Mercenaries to the game.
Path of Exile 2. If they have that on a console,
one is Variana, Subo.
Even if they just have it on the PC, but I can play it with the controller, I will probably roll into the early access for Path of Exile 2 because it's mid-November and I don't have anything slotted. I do have November 20th as Stalker 2, but I could easily start early access like November 12th and just start easing myself into the story campaign throughout the month of November.
And then once you acquire them, you can bring them into your party with you.
But I do plan on it.
Essentially, it facilitates a way that solo players never have to feel like they're alone again, because now they have this friend, this partner.
You've got something stuck in your nose, Vidger.
And so one of the ways that you progress your merc is you have each merc has their own skill tree, and you can sort of pick and choose which skills you want them to have. And it's a really nice
Metro
way
says
to complement
your
build. So
reaction to Dune last night was amazing. I'm really excited for the Dune
so their skills
MMO.
kind of
I love Dune as an IP.
with your own. We also have a system called rapport. The more you work with a merc and the more you adventure with them, the more they can sort of give you more benefits and they can kind of grow in power. And so once you go back to the merc den, you can actually get custom rewards that you can only get by progressing your merc, building up that rapport in order to access these really awesome rewards at the end.
And then, so I'm going to have to be best friends with a demon child if I want to see the good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Right, so that's kind of a cool system.
The last feature we have is called reinforcements, where
when
let's
is that
say
coming
you don't
out?
want to have a merc in your party all the time. You can actually say, when I use this skill or perform an evade or something like that, I want this reinforcement merc to jump on the field, perform an action, and jump back out again. Yeah. So there's a lot of depth, a lot of fun, and some great storytelling in the mercs feature.
Just to check, so mercs, you can equip one at a time.
October 8th?
Your character, but you can access all of them and try them all out, see which one works best for you.
Correct, and you can mix and match your combos, so you can have two mercs, and one is your main merc and one is your reinforcement. And if you're in a party,
it depends on how long Shattered Space is.
Sick.
Yeah.
5 things happening, because there wasn't enough on screen already.
I agree.
Yeah, right.
Nah, Veg, you're the dull one. Sorry. Dune is way cooler than you. Hate to break it to you. Dune's been around for a long time, sold hundreds of millions of copies. I've never even heard of you.
And so I kind of like associate myself with
Step it up, bro.
I'm a dad as well. I got 2 boys.
Right.
But also, like, I have a problem when I play Diablo, and I'm always speccing into damage and DPS at the expense of my defensive
Just finished reading Children of Dune. I'm in Dune Messiah right now.
Which
it's first reread in a long time. What's up, Babylonia?
And so I actually rely on that to stay alive when I'm playing the game.
Nice. Aislinn, how about yourself?
Yeah, I absolutely love Variana. She's just totally wild. She's a butcher who's also a
as soon as Gamescom is over, guys, I gotta sit down and like align my whole schedule from
building momentum and moving forward. And she has a
There's so much stuff now that is going to be coming out like October, November, December.
I mean, the Demon Child. I think
even in September, we're
going
to have to see what we can see. There's a lot of stuff to play.
It's
going to be a good fall, guys. We got the Xbox, we got the PlayStation, we got the PC ready to go. Daily streams, YouTube and Twitch, 11 a.m. Central, and evening streams as well. Doing World of Warcraft on Wednesdays and Saturday nights. No Man's Sky Sunday mornings.
Thank you.
Lots of stuff happening.
That sounds like a lot of fun, but now, as promised, why don't we cover
Star Wars
some
Outlaws
behind-the-scene
starting
looks
Tuesday,
at the making Diablo 4
rolling
Vessel
into
of
Space
Hatred.
Marine
Check this
2,
out.
and tomorrow night, World of Warcraft: The War Within. I do want to play the story for this, so October 8th is the launch for...
In Vessel of Hatred, we travel south to Nahantu, a region with both deep ancient jungles and vast sprawling plains. It's the last stretch of land in Sanctuary's
Yeah, I was figuring
eastern
15,
continent,
20 hours, Babylonia.
and we've packed it full of experiences for every type of player. In this expansion, there's a whole lot to explore.
There is a new
under the
Dune
dark
show coming
canopy
in
of
November,
Nahantu.
Super Pescado. It's 10,000 years before, and it's the formation of the Bene
Gesserit.
Gesserit.
The southernmost region of the eastern continent.
We're going to be watching it here in our house, doing reviews of the episodes
it's the last
weekly.
region that we haven't visited yet so
This
far
looks
in the
amazing.
game, but it is one that we've been to before in Diablo.
There's lots of new areas. We have 6 in total. 4 of them are jungle themed, and then we have 2 that are Red Rock Canyon, but each one of them has their own unique identity. When you first arrive in Nahantu, you're in this place called Lingering Hatred. This is high treetops canopies where you're almost walking amongst the branches high above the jungle floor.
Imagine a thick canopy that the light is just barely poking through.
The whole area has been infected by this thing called the Hollows infestation.
Nice.
The Hollows are a new enemy that's associated with Mephisto. They themselves are kind of like a tar-like substance creature born straight out of the depths of hell.
It feels a little twisted. There's a sickness to the area itself.
Humans have ventured into this deep part of the jungle where there's all this poisonous plants and flora. The dregs actually started experimenting with eating these hallucinogens, and it put them into this aggressive psycho rage.
The dregs were pretty fun because we were able to push more variety in the monster family. You have one of these tall dregs, and then half of a body of another dreg
this is
on
kind
top
of
of
cool.
it, kind of controlling it and telling it where to go and tossing poisonous bombs at the player. When you come across it, it's very memorable.
And then we've also got the area of Tenganse, where you've got the Tenganse Plateau, which is full of these red rocked plateaus and canyons.
Imagine getting up above the land. Those gigantic walls have pockets inside where monsters could live. It offered up a lot of opportunity to bring back a monster family like the Lukunai.
We're bringing them back in a new way here as a fully fleshed out monster family with multiple classes.
What a more brute force looks like, what a caster looks like.
They did kind of look like trolls from WoW. Could be the same. Somebody spread that theory in Discord the other day about whether or not Diablo 4 is maybe set in the same world as World of Warcraft, just on a different planet.
Your skin crawl.
And it's bug infested, and you can
Not
see
yet,
how the
Sparrow
bugs have
21.
destroyed the jungles and kind of
We have
input
not
their
gotten to the
influence
World of
on it.
Warcraft stuff
Within
yet.
the Field of Giants, you have these giant corpses of these long dead demons that humans have begun to mine away at for their resources. While they've got a lot of use out of them, they're also toxic to the land around it.
The notion of massive demons walking Sanctuary 1,000 years ago is really thought-provoking.
Plateau's also got just this beautiful color scheme to the lighting. It's really lovely to be there. And then horrific at the same time, you know, it's great.
The mercenaries in Vessel of Hatred are a group of people who we like to describe as ordinary people with extraordinary skills. They have the same level of will to fight against the demons of hell.
And there's 4 mercs that you can collect over the course of the campaign. It starts with Rahir, a blacksmith and a shield bearer, is a more defensive fighter.
He's able to go in there and soak up damage, use his shield as a bulwark against
Oh, that's
the
awesome
enemy.
for the
You meet him
arrow,
early
for
on
the
in the campaign,
range
and
characters.
he's one who introduces you to
Mages,
the mercenary network.
bows.
You end up finding acquisition quests for 3 other mercs that you can find throughout the course of the story.
Subo, the drunken archer, is going to work really well for people who want someone who's out of the main melee, in the back, offering utility and that kind of range support.
Then we have Ariana, a berserker crone, who's a melee combat fighter, close range. She's got a really cool combat meter, a
that's
massacre
awesome.
meter where you need to keep killing enemies to get the meter to be filled.
She's got a bunch of really interesting
And then some
utility
sort of a mage,
skills
I'm
that you
assuming.
can kind of build in.
Finally, we have the demon child Aldkin, who's a magic
Okay, maybe
user
not.
who
Yeah,
can
magic
transform
user.
himself from human form to demon form and join you in combat.
There's this really great reinforcement ability where you can take one of the mercenary skills and attach it to one of your powers so that when you use that skill, it calls them in to do a specific skill.
Oh,
With
that's
the
pretty
mercenaries
awesome.
For Vessel of Hatred, one of the things we are expanding on is the skill tree. For Diablo 3, you had a very basic type of mercenary, but this time you can actually push a little bit more into the skill tree and make the mercenary the way you would want to play.
Going through each mercenary progression arc and outfitting their skill tree so that it's complementary to your character build, I think that's where the fun in the mercenary system really lies.
The Dark Citadel is a new in-game feature that's coming in Vessel of Hatred. It's an entirely cooperative player experience. All the mechanics within it are based around you working together with your party members to solve the challenges and face the first Khazra hordes within.
One of the outcomes of the Mage Wars is this giant crater.
Are you talking about Diablo 4 Super Pescado? Because the grouping support is amazing there. It's cross-play on all platforms. It's so easy to group up. You got voice chat, like
within the Citadel, found within this crater, to perform experiments to try and bring back their Dark God.
Only recently, people have started going missing. They head into the Khazra region, they disappear, never to be seen again. So it's clear that whatever they're planning is about to come to fruition, and your job as the players to get in there and stop it.
Citadels are a place where we take what is the best
part
of
Diablo. We have a guild in Diablo 4, actually, too.
And we test it in a different way, which is adding in cooperative
Nobody's played
mechanics
it like 2 years or whenever it launched.
On top of that.
For example, a boss has an attack, and as a player, you have to collect an item that allows you to reflect the attack back at him. So there's a little bit of a Twitch level mechanic there where you actually have to time your reaction shot. What's interesting about it is when you get multiple people in there, where each responsible
I don't ever
for
pug,
reflecting
so
that shot once,
I can't
so
speak
all have
to
sort of master the timing of that move.
efficacy of
you
that.
You can't do that kind of thing without coordinating.
Because I've always
team,
played with
and
people from the community, so I always go in with like a freeform group. Like
when
we went in
designing
with
the
Gila,
we designed a
I
lot
don't know,
of really
7 or 8
cool
other people
bosses.
who were playing together.
So one of the things that we did is we took that design and made like armor sets for each of the classes. That way you feel like you took their armor and you feel like you're wearing
it is on Game Pass, probably, yes. I'm assuming this is also... Okay, well, let's back that up. I think your question is the DLC going to be available for free on Game Pass? I don't know. I do know that Diablo 4 is available on Game Pass. I don't know if the DLC is also going to be available on Game Pass for free.
Party Finder feature, and the community has been pretty vocal about
if it is, I'll go play it.
Time.
If it's not, I probably will skip it because I'm not that into Diablo 4 to need to buy anything right now.
Towards people who
if I was content starved, I would, but I'm not content starved right now.
Or with strangers, and enjoy that cooperative gameplay. I cannot wait for players to get into the world. I'm really just excited for people to see all the little hidden storytelling elements that the team has fit in.
So there's interesting things to find in the
because like with Destiny 2,
every corner, and
there's all the base stuff that's free, but then if you want like all the expansion stuff, you definitely got to pony up and pay. Vessel of Hatred. Okay, so that was the deep dive on that.
Party Finder, that is a fantastic idea. I mean,
Party Finder is a good idea.
And the buddy's not there or whatever. Now I can fill that gap, and who needs friends anymore, right? So, there was a lot in that. I want to talk specifically first about the Dark Citadel, because as a guy that's into his endgame activities, that's a really creative way to bring players together and actually work things out. So tell us, what actually will players have to do inside Dark Citadel to earn some rewards, get through it alive?
So it's really a unique model for us. And again, Dark Citadel is built towards endgame. And we're doing more in Vessel of Hatred to push players through the campaign and then into the endgame, where we think some of the best content is. So Dark Citadel will require at least 2 players to get through.
At least 2.
And requires a lot of communication between players to overcome challenges. Every week there's going to be updated rewards, so there's always a reason to go back and do it again, because there's going to be some new stuff in there, including one very big fan requested feature, which is our scroll of retempering. So no more brick items. You'll be able to apply the scroll and get all new tempering charges on that item. So I know everyone's very excited about that, and Dark Citadel is the best place to go to get that.
Excellent. Well, there is a lot in that, but it isn't the only thing that you're launching on October 8th. So what else we got to look forward to?
Yeah, so on
for that
October
optional
8th,
dungeon,
we're also
yes.
going to be launching Season 6 alongside Vessel of Hatred. And Season 6 is going to have a ton of content that's bespoke. It's totally separate and unique to Season 6.
Well, it's optional
it's gonna
content,
be free
Firewater.
for
You don't
all
have
Diablo
to do it.
4 players, which is awesome.
Nice.
We're gonna
Optional
be talking a lot
content
more
is
about
really
the
cool because it
details
allows
of the
other
content of
players
Season
who
6
want
in the
to do
coming
it
months,
the option
but
to
there's
do
not
it.
gonna just
And then you
there's
don't
not
have
gonna
to.
just be
You
new
can still go
content coming
play
in
the
Season
base
6.
game,
Alongside
play
Season
all
6
of the story
and
of
Vessel
the
Hatred,
expansion,
we
get
also
all
have
of the
major
story,
character progression updates coming
and then say,
to
I'm done.
Diablo 4.
I don't
I'll
need to
have
do
ask
the
for some
extra
specifics,
optional
surely. That
in-game
teases me too much. What else you
seasonal
got?
stuff, which I never
so
do.
if
I
you're
never do the
familiar
seasonal
or
stuff.
you've
I don't care
played
about it, but I
Season
do like the
4 Loot
storyline.
Reborn, you know
So if
we
you
did
don't
a
want
lot
to
of
do the
itemization
optional
changes that
multiplayer
kind of
dungeon,
fundamentally altered
don't
a lot
do it.
about how you're
Doesn't
playing
make
the
it a
game and
bad
how you're getting
game.
rewards. The
Just means
scope
that
of the character
that part of
progression
it's not for
changes
you,
that are
but
coming
it's
in
not
Season
mandatory to
6
story coverage.
are-
So you're not being forced
it's
to
the
group.
same. Like it's the same grand
You are for the
scale.
optional
There's
stuff.
a lot of changes coming.
As long as we're
to,
understanding
character progression, a
what
lot
we're
of
talking about.
improvements coming. I'd love to talk a little bit about the goals and also
Super
a little
Biscotti
bit
says
about some Paragon
I don't
changes
get
that are
FOMO.
coming with the character
I
progression
honestly
updates.
don't. It's great, which is
Yeah,
why the
so
seasonal stuff I
really
could care
when
less.
we were thinking about these changes,
Zero
we
desire
took
to
a
do the
bird's eye
seasonal.
view and we wanted to think
Don't care about
how
the
can
cash
we
shop.
make
Could
the,
give
like,
two
put the
shits about
power
the
in
cash shop.
players' hands
I paid
of how they
$70,
wanna interact
played it
with
on the
challenge that
PS.
Diablo 4 provides in the game.
Loved it.
We wanted to make
Actually, I
sure
might
you
have played
could
that on the
opt
Series X
in
before it came to Game
your
Pass.
challenge level that you're
Bought it,
comfortable with,
played it,
so that you can
loved
set
it.
your own pace in
Never.
any
I went and did a
activity
second
throughout all
character
of
through the
Diablo
campaign.
4.
Never did the seasonal.
And so we've applied basically, you know, if you've played Season 4 Loot Reborn,
Nah,
you've played some of
the
Season
cash
5,
shop's
you might
there.
Be familiar with the Profane
Doesn't affect
Mind
you.
Cage. That's an item
It's
that
100%
allows you in the
ignorable.
Helltides to up the level of the monsters, up the difficulty, but you get more rewards as well. And we've kind of applied that philosophy throughout all of Diablo 4.
And I love the
You can kind of
console
opt
gameplay
into
with
your
Diablo
own
4. It
challenge
does play
and
really,
then get
really
more
good on the
stuff because
controller.
of it.
Sick.
And then alongside that, we also have a lot of changes coming to Paragon. We wanted to add depth and choice to the Paragon system, but we know that it's pretty daunting for some people, right? So we wanted to make sure that while we were doing that, we weren't increasing the complexity, right? We want to make sure that it's still very.
I keep seeing all the Fallout signs in the background for Fallout 76, and I'm like, there better be some Fallout news.
And I could go on forever and ever and ever.
But I also
about
know
this
we're waiting for Avowed, Stalker 2,
but
bunch of fun
we're going to
stuff.
have a lot more details in a developer live stream on August 29th. We're going to have a
August 29th.
campfire chat where we're going to be talking all about the specifics of
Yeah,
this.
I did not like
I'm
how
absolutely buzzing to see
PoE
it.
control.
I mean, the best way to phrase it
on
is
the
like what Season 4
controller.
did to loot, Season 6 will do to progression.
Excellent.
And the thing too, but just go back to the Party Finder, like there's things that people look at, like what's part of the expansion and what's not. Party Finder is coming to the game, not just to the expansion. So,
Oh, great.
and what's great about it is not only can you access it through the social menu that you can see, or you can access it through your remote wheel, you can actually access it from the map. So when you say, oh, I'm going to go do this dungeon, you can say, and list it as a party that people come join me in this dungeon. So
All right,
it's
the
a
looking
feature
for
that's gonna
group,
apply to
that's
the
cool.
entire game.
The fact that they're
Excellent.
adding matchmaking to Diablo 4, that's really badass. And notice he just said we're adding it to the game, not the expansion.
Undercity is a time dungeon.
So that means they are separating the expansion out a little bit, but the group finding is for the base game. So if you're going to go get the base game on Game Pass, you'll be able to use the looking for group functionality because they're adding that to the base game.
And one of the reasons we built these two modes is this concept of new ways to play. Right? People love our game. They love Nightmare Dungeons. They love Whispers. They love Helltides. But what we really want to do is make sure we have enough canvas so that every user can find something that is uniquely suited to them. And that's what New Ways to Play is all about.
Me and my friends, we just love being able to have a bit of choice, which is really fun in Infernal Hordes in the current season, for example, and being able to tailor exactly how messed up we want this level to get is really fun. So the fact that it's getting applied to more aspects of Diablo that's awesome to hear. But between now and the Season 6 launch and Vessel of Hatred, what other activities can players get up to whilst they wait?
I mean, really, is jumping into Season 5. You know, like you were talking about, Season 5 continues the pace of Season 4. You can level up really fast. It's very exciting. The Infernal Hordes is a great new mode. Which
So
is
fun.
Like, you know, it's sort of a horde mode where wave after wave are coming after. You can go and fight the
I don't care about
Council
seasonal
to get your
stuff. So,
rewards from that.
what
But
is
that's really
Avowed?
the
Asked
big thing.
Piscato.
Just even
It's
if you haven't
the
played through the campaign
upcoming
yet, that's one of the nice things
first-person
about
or
the Vessel of Hatred
third-person
is that
action
it is
RPG
a continuation of that story.
from
so where Narelle left
Obsidian
at the end of
Entertainment,
the game, you can pick that story
set
up and
in the
get to
same
continue and play.
universe
So if you
as
haven't played through
Pillars
the
of
campaign yet,
Eternity
now's a
1
great
and
time.
2.
And I would be.
So if you've played the Pillars of Eternity CRPGs, that world, that setting,
it's an awesome time to pre-purchase the
they are now making a first-person / third-person action RPG. Think Skyrim, but with a valve.
Now you Snow Leopard and the Tiger
Looks amazing.
to follow you around and pick
That's
up
going to be
stuff
February
for you.
18th.
Last night we actually added two more.
Play the
Not only do you have Angel
game.
Wings that we had before, we added Demon Wings last night. So if
and they're going to have game previews and probably some more interviews and stuff during this event.
But it's a good time. And then we actually added
and that's an Xbox
Ultimate Edition,
title.
We've actually added 1 month of Ultimate Game Pass. So if you haven't, jumped in yet, or if you want to add an extra month onto your subscription, pick up, the pre-purchase, and you'll get an extra month. And I already got my code last night. I watched the show, got back to my hotel room, and there was my code for a month of Ultimate. So it was awesome.
Now you got to find some other games to play while you're on that as well.
Yeah, well,
in between Diablo and
is that possible? I don't know if that's possible.
That's true. I mean, I've already put in quite a few hours into the current season, and yeah, it's so much fun as is, and I just can't wait to see the season 6 drop as well. And Vessel's looking great, new class as well. I mean,
thank you so much.
I don't know what else I'm going to play in the meantime. You guys have just killed all my free time.
Well, it's great. One of the nice things is we have a demo deck on the booth here. We have the whole Hantu corrupted, temple, and it's actually got a 20-minute demo of the Spiritborn. And what's great about it is you go in and you pick whether you want to be a gorilla type.
I may have to go check with Chris in a minute. I'm waiting to see what's next before I duck outside, because she's outside working on stuff
sort
with
of clicks
cats.
In after you played it for a
Homeless
little bit,
Bird says, I'm excited for the Spiritborn class. Reminds me a little bit of the monk from D3.
This is one class with this amount of
yeah, I haven't played since last year either.
So you can go in.
I think the last time I played was right before Baldur's Gate 3. I actually cut my Diablo 4 stream series short because they moved Baldur's Gate 3 early, or launch up by a month last year. So I just was like, well, I guess we're moving over to Baldur's Gate 3 a month earlier than anticipated.
Outside of press and content creators, people have been able to play, and it's been fun just to watch them play.
Well, half centipede and half gorilla is a disturbing image to end on. But, thanks a lot. You're going to stick around because we need to talk about that. Rex, Aislinn, thanks so much for joining us.